Your King of Wands is keeping a very close eye on you. And the reason I chose to pair the King and Queen of different decks here is because I want you guys to ignore this man here, okay? And watch her undressing, okay? Let me cover him up. Look at her undressing. This is how the King is looking at her. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717 back with another video. I'm here with Mega Good Vibes today. So we're just hanging out, guys, and I just thought it was the perfect time to share with you guys how much I appreciate you as a community, and those of you who have been with me for a really long time, I really do appreciate your presence here on the channel. Even if you're new and you're watching and you get something out of the videos, I am, more than thrilled with that idea alone. With that being said, I wanted to share this reading and I wanted to expand on the community post I shared last night because I was just guided to a couple decks here and I wanted to decipher the messages with a reading. Now, I'm going to be launching the Patreon today. I'm going to share the link in the comments and the description box, and this is really just a way of me connecting even more closely with many of you who deeply share the same experiences that I do, and my goal is to have it be a place where we can connect a little bit more closely without it being so informal through like booking a reading or exchanging stuff in the comments publicly. I just wanted to create an even safer space, a more refined community for us to really get comfortable and connect with each other. Just get the Mega 717 crew going. And I really hope that you guys will join me there, and it will be, really exciting to connect that way and just build a family there, okay? I love you guys so much, and your support means so much to me, and it's been a pleasure connecting with you guys. So, okay, let's get to this reading here because I just found it really, really interesting. I feel like it's going to be a lengthy reading because these cards are really just the beginning, like an extension of the community post, because I remember sharing in the community post that I personally love when chaos ensues. And what I mean by that is that, I really do appreciate the tower moments because I feel like I've been on this ride for quite some time and I have unusual circumstances, just like I'm sure all of you do who are tuned in with your journey. And it really depends on the decisions that you guys make. And there's no right or wrong answer. It is just about learning. And I just feel like, there's many of you out there who are on this ride with me and you have that same vibration about you as well, where it's like you just appreciate the bumps on the road, the bliss, the love. Like a lot of you are just eccentric in that way. And that's why I was drawn to these cards. So some of the cards that I want to share with you, I'll start with the first one here, which is the Knave of Wands. So the reason I was attracted to this card here is because of the divine feminine's presence in the masculine's life. So a lot of them are in this space of separation, and it's being orchestrated by the universe because the masculine needs time to absorb the divine feminine, because what I've been getting is like the divine feminine is the original. Like others will try to copy from the original. And the reason I was getting that is because like she's very eccentric. And the reason I felt the word eccentric is because of the energy in the written post, which talked a lot about welcoming the chaos and being very open to the tower moments. And many of us who are in the divine feminine energy are starting to realize the more we realize that this is about acceptance and accepting who it is we are, as unconventional as we might seem to others when we believe in love and we talk about this twin flame journey as though it's a real experience. This represents a very unique intelligence in us, and many of you are very impulsive, and that comes from having an original mind. And look at the length of her hair just growing. Like, this is a woman who really doesn't care about what society thinks about her ideas, and the masculine is very drawn to that. But I feel like for him, being drawn to this energy makes him act like a kid sometimes, like he forgets himself sometimes in conversation, like he doesn't know what to say, he loses himself. Even in this card here, he's like more concerned with like the smell of her perfume, and it's like there she is in all of her beauty, being so unapologetic for this whole twin flame journey that they're on. And what I'm getting from this card as well is that there are a lot of you who have spoken about the twin flame journey with your counterparts, and it's come from a place of being guided to speak your truth no matter how absurd it sounds. And even though there were fingers pointed at you in the beginning, even if the masculine went off and maybe he might have said a thing or two to some people that he knew in terms of you sounding crazy or being crazy, the divine feminine has really nourished herself in this very energy, and now he's starting to see that even though she appeared so odd and so strange, and again with that very eccentric behavior, very individualistic, if you will, to him now, like, she stands out. She is the original copy. Before I think he was very clouded by that, and now that she stands out from all of the karmic situations that are in his life that he's desperately trying to get away from, hence the silence and isolating himself from the world, it's like her beauty, her courage to, really seize the day, seize the opportunity here, in this card here, which is the Page of Wands. And this is the other card I was attracted to because this card is from the Tarot Sexual Magic. And I feel like with all of that fiery, passionate energy, that's what made the divine masculine fall so deeply in love with the feminine. It's like the fact that he recognized her based on her very unorthodox behavior. It's like, at first it seemed very strange, and now he's starting to realize like that is his match. And I feel like, this is her. She's very enthusiastic about life. She's led him down this path of just following your dreams and being able to create and manifest whatever it is you want, no matter how unusual their connection to each other seems or what other people may think about it. It's like I feel like the divine feminine's presence in the masculine's life, at first it uprooted everything he knew and felt as comfortable, and so it did cause a lot of resentment towards the twin flame journey, and this happened on both of their parts. But with the divine feminine's energy being, such an oddball kind of thing, like she was more in the state of mind where she was like rolling with the punches, and even though it hurt, she would just get back up and dust herself off. And for the masculines, it's like this stuff was happening and they either just tried to block it out or run. Whereas the divine feminine was like, bring it, which is what I shared in the community post, right? Many of us are in this state of mind of realizing that the twin flame journey is teaching us so much along with all of this romance and attraction that we feel. We're starting to see that it's so much more than that, and it is a journey back to ourself and who it is we are, and it feels good because when we are led back to ourselves, we're starting to see that a lot of the dark stuff around this journey can be combated with creative energy, right? Bringing in abundance, soaking up your coins, and really enjoying this world, right? I mean, of course, money doesn't buy happiness, but it can buy things that make you hella happy. And the divine feminine is enjoying this again. I feel like the divine feminines have had to be really strategic when it comes to how they are now starting to express themselves on the journey with their masculines. And they're starting to see that, when separation happens, I'm going to dig deep into why it's occurring instead of utilizing my energy to mind the masculine's business. Because what this was doing was, the more days that went by with you guys surfing social media, trying to find out what was going on in his life, the more days that were going by with you guys missing out on ideas and opportunities that were coming through to you in like channelings and in visions, asking you to get into this energy and seize the day to attract more into your life. But it's like with 2021 coming in, it's like you guys have woken up to that, and now you're starting to take care of yourselves. Like, instead of waking up in the mornings and looking at social media to try to get a clue or a hint about what the masculines are doing, many of you are actually just starting to like get up out of bed and like spend the first hour of your morning just taking care of you, like whether it is sleeping in a little bit, getting up and showering and like doing your hair and makeup for no good reason other than just to be in the house. Many of you are, you're doing your nails, you're doing your your hair, you are spending time slowing down and just enjoying the scenery outside or going to take a walk. You're paying attention to your diet, therefore you're spending more time cooking yourself a breakfast rather than going to get takeout. All of these things are slowing you down and getting you to focus on yourself again. And by focusing on yourselves, Divine Feminines, the ideas about your abundance are coming through a lot more clearly. You're starting to analyze this journey from a place of realizing just how much healing has gone on and taken place. And I think the universe has designed this in a way for you guys to actually feel like healthy sexuality and healthy attraction and intimacy towards each other. Because in the past, when we were avoiding like a lot of the darker aspects of like the work we had to do, it's like many of you sat there and saw yourselves like scanning social media for like the 20th time for the day. And you actually saw yourself doing it. Like some of you actually came outside of your body, saw yourself in that moment and said, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, I look like a zombie right now. And that's what that energy was doing to many of you. It was like you were being like sucked in or pulled in to try to figure things out. Like, even like being guilty of like watching readings on YouTube that had very like toxic titles, or like the energy around it felt toxic, and it's like you couldn't stop watching no matter how much you tried to like turn it off. You're like, ooh, one detail after the next you're wanting to know. And then by the end of it, it's like you felt completely drained and confused, and it led you further and further away from connecting with your inner selves and then just going off of other people's energy. So what this whole energy of like the separation is doing is getting you guys to focus on these things a little bit more and see why separation is happening. Maybe open up your eyes to being a little bit more prepared for your twin flame to come into your life in a way that is not you two hiding behind, schedules and like, hiding behind like, okay, like let's meet up, but let's do it in secret, or let's meet up, but like, oh my God, I have to delete every single text message and email in order to make this happen. It's like the universe doesn't want you guys to experience your twin flame journey like that. And this whole process is about truth and authenticity and being yourselves and standing up for what it is you feel and believe is right. And so a lot of you are having this huge epiphany now of understanding where your time and energy is going, and you're starting to trust divine timing a little bit more. It's like a lot of the separation is happening, and you guys are realizing just how much you were missing out on what was happening in your lives from like day to day, like missing out time with your kids, missing out taking opportunities to, expand yourselves creatively. It's like a lot of you were so caught up on a lot of the hurt and pain that it was like hard to sit there and like blog about something that you were interested in, or get into your poetry, or get into your writing, or shuffle the cards in your tarot and oracle decks and actually get clear messages, because your whole aura was just clouded by like the outcome of this twin flame journey. But many of you are waking up and you're starting to see that the more time you get into this page energy here, you're understanding that a lot of the crazy, unique things about you, when you forget about your masculine, you start seeing again, it's that very energy that makes him feel so attracted to you. It's like this energy of not caring about what other people think about the craziness that you've experienced. Like many of you can write a book about dreams by now and have it published. Many of you can start a YouTube channel and share your divine masculine letters of your own, or share your own divine feminine stories and have a community of your own. But it's like this heavy feeling of not being able to create is coming from a place of not trusting that your King of Wands is keeping a very close eye on you. And the reason I chose to pair the King and Queen of different decks here is because I want you guys to ignore this man here, okay? And watch her undressing, okay? Let me cover him up. Look at her undressing. This is how the King is looking at her. Like, goddamn. He has got his hands in his pocket and he is looking at her. And look at the lizard on his shirt here, and look at the lizard on the pants of the page. This fresh, young, beautiful spirit of hers. Okay, so you see how that's matching up here? Because the King is attracted to the energy here of the Queen. And the symbol of her undressing herself is the fact that the divine feminine is always making the masculine feel very attracted to her and very fresh with this love and this magnetism. And all she has to do is just self-care. Like, take care of yourself, go slowly, enjoy the day, enjoy being the feminine, enjoy being quirky and unique, and go on YouTube and rant about twin flames, and go and paint that crazy picture that you want to with the rest of the paint in your drawer. Like, even if it's some of it's dried up, you know what I mean? Like, write that poem about the pain that you're feeling right now. Connect with other like-minded souls and trust in this connection so much to the point where you know that it's that very energy that makes him feel so passionate and want to make things happen in the physical and get it done. You know, it's like the divine feminine is starting to see, like, when I trust that my divine masculine loves me and only wants me, it puts me into this energy of just feeling like really young and vibrant and feeling like, you know, he absolutely cherishes you and adores you. So you don't have to be stuck or feel foggy on what it is that's going on. Like, if he's in a karmic situation or if he's married, there's no amount of chasing that you can do on your part to make him wake up and realize that there's this twin flame connection. What's going to make him realize this twin flame connection is when you are nowhere in sight because you're too busy bringing in your coins and putting your ideas to good use to bring in abundance for not only yourself but for other people struggling as well. That's why your king has the eye on you, because of your ability to nurture the world around you and the people around you. So the overall message that I get from these cards, guys, is like, you will trust this twin flame journey and trust the process of letting go the minute you realize how your masculine really feels about you, which through this reading I'm here to tell you, like, he's got an eye on you. You know what I mean? Like, the more you dig into this creative flow of just doing your own thing, and if a lot of you have the question, like, how do I get on the path of doing my own thing? Nurture yourselves and take care of yourselves first. That's the first step. Like, I bet you I can say to, like, so many of you tuning into this reading right now, like, are your toenails clipped? Are your nails did? Many of you will look down and be like, oh shit, I haven't cut my toenails in 2 weeks. And no shame, but I am speaking from experience, and I know the ins and outs of what goes on behind closed doors when it comes to this twin flame journey. And the best way to help you guys get out of the fog is to start with the body first. That's why we talk about grounding so much, right? Grounding means feeling the ground underneath your feet. It's not allowing yourselves to get so caught up in your mind that you literally feel numb to the body. Like, you can't even tell that you're not taking care of yourself because your mind is so warped, right? So the Wands energy lets us know, like, take those ideas out of your head, ground them, and light them on fire and see what happens, all right? I'm going to continue the rest of this reading on Patreon and maybe shuffle a few more decks to give you guys some more messages, but join me there if you would like. I love you guys so much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon.